what something is made out of really does matter. I touched on a subject in one of my other videos about the Victorinox Pioneer X and the Farmer X. And my qualm was with the fact that the Farmer X now has a steel pin. So the Pioneer X originally has 3 nickel silver pins fastening scales together with the handle scales. The Farmer X has a steel pin in the center. It's not a big deal, actually. I mean, because there's an extra liner of nickel silver anyway. But in the comments, I touched on, I guess, a personal philosophy, and materials matter. Something made out of nickel silver has like a little bit of a more sacredness to it. Something made out of wood has a sacredness to it. Like, for instance, every wood is special, so you see talismans and relics throughout history and throughout many cultures, comprised of different materials, different alloys, and different combinations of minerals and stones and woods. And typically we only fascinate ourselves with the visual arts, the visual glyphs, the writing, geometry, and that's what fascinates us most. And we can glean a lot from the cultures just by looking at that. It's an important aspect. However, I mean, the composition of the materials and their relevance to that culture also signifies a great depth of, like, knowledge. Like, for instance, like if there's a specific resource that's been used by that particular society for a very long time and holds, I don't know, the same amount of meaning that an emoji would have. Like, it's just one material that kind of everybody from that city knows exactly, knows the joke or knows the lesson. So, like this is granadillo wood, basically a Mexican rosewood, very, very tall, hardy tree. It's an old growth, one that I carved this crucifix out of. And this is a piece of Osage orange I carved a bead out of, wrapped it in silver, some turquoise. Materials are symbolic. You tell the story, almost like a journey. You could tell a story. I could tell a story with my necklace. Because if you were so inclined to look deeply, you could see that one of the materials was sourced in my hometown and another one was sourced at a place I visited. And then following that adventure, I was on another side quest and I found a piece of metal. And I decided to incorporate that into my timeline. I feel like a lot of the sacredness of the materials gets drowned away. Just because, for instance, this one right here is Bolivian rosewood. You know how many people got their floors done in just Bolivian rosewood just because of a capitalistic high market society? We just got used to seeing that in everyday life. Just like, oh, I'm gonna get a house built. Well, I'm gonna do the upgraded package, and we got these floors, and like, oh, look at Bolivian rosewood, and you see that for a couple decades, just that as an add-on. It loses its flavor a little bit, but you don't realize that these are old growth trees. And a lot of these cedars and rosewood trees historically were used, not for your fucking floors, but they were used to construct altars in cathedrals, temples, relics, pews, monasteries, hospitals. Something as like this. This is the lignum vitae. This is another one that a lot of people just look at the grain on that. It's raining on me now, but it's like a pipe kind of. But look how it's feathered out. It's gorgeous. I think this was an add-on for many houses too. And you see lignum vitae, Bolivian rosewood, even granadillo wood, osage. You see it enough in a catalog, and you just kind of just think about it as normal, but everything has meaning. So what you choose to wear, what you choose to carry around with you, I mean, maybe there's a reason that they chose to use cedar for the construction of your dressers, for instance, in the furniture industry. I know a lot of antiques that I handle and that I restore have cedar drawers. Why do you think that is? What is so special about cedar in particular that people want to use it around their clothes? Look it up. Early, this one for instance, lignum vitae, very hardwood. It's like one of those ebonies of South America, Central and South America. It's so hard. They didn't know what else to do with it. The Europeans that came over, they just kind of cut them into little balls and used them as ball bearings. Really, it works like that because they're self-lubricating. They're so saturated with oil. But imagine, I mean, before that industrial attitude came to those places, before they needed to use them as bearings, and people still knew that this wood was hard as fuck. I wonder what they used it for. It has one of the prettiest smells. I love the smell of this wood. So it goes to say, it holds true for also for metals. So I like nickel silver. It's comprised of, what was it? Nickel, silver, that's copper, and nickel. Yeah, I think that's it. Copper and nickel. Copper and nickel. Cooper nickel. Copper is very sacred. Mars, symbolic meanings. At certain times it was valued more than gold. Silver too. Are kind of just, our modern interpretations and values are just skewed. I mean, they weren't the same as they were back then. What's gold now was copper back then. What's copper now will be silver then. I don't know. So everything has a meaning. And if you're inclined to actually care about these things, don't just go buy a tree of life symbol or little. Don't just get something generic. Try hard. Make it work. Make it a part of you. Carry something that's you. Don't be fake. It takes work, right? Just like all that inner work.